Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today's going to be a makeup tutorial. I'm trying to get these makeup tutorials pushed out. I know you guys have been wanting to see more of them, so I'm hoping you're watching. So I thought, let me try and incorporate like a little chit chat while I do my makeup. It's like a full face Juvia's Place. I'll be featuring the Wahala 2 palette. I will be using another shade, some purples from another palette by Juvia's Place as well. This is their Juvia palette. I'll probably pick from, you know, that purple in the corner. So I was like, let's try and maybe make my tutorials a little bit more interesting, so maybe you guys would watch them. I did like a little Q&A question thing on my Instagram. Give me some questions, some assumptions, just make it fun, make it chatty. So I don't want to do them all in this video because I'm going to be doing another tutorial. So I just thought, let me try and split it in half. Should I leave my boyfriend of 5 years because he is lazy and does not look for a job hard enough? Sis, I don't know how old you are, but in this day and age, we cannot settle for people who don't have ambition, who don't have drive, bringing us down. No, it's been 5 years. Especially if you're working hard and he's just doing nothing. Like, what is that? What is that? No, there might be situations where you're going through things and that can affect you financially, and obviously you're trying your best, you're trying to work hard to change that situation, and then there's a difference between that and then someone who just does absolutely nothing, who doesn't even try. We don't want that, and I don't want that for you. So you have to think about that. Like, if he's not doing anything to change the situation, it's affecting you, affecting the relationship, then you might have to rethink, you know, a few things, because I don't think it's fair on you as well. I mean, if you're contributing a lot as well, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. But yeah, that's just like, I just don't understand. Like, we should stop settling for people who just are not bettering themselves. Like, I feel like this just takes me back to, you know, my experience dating. And like, there was actually a question, because I did a little quick scroll through, and the person was like, share your stories about dating broke men. Because I don't know if you remember, if you guys follow Melissa's Wardrobe on Instagram, see, I haven't even done my foundation yet. We're literally chatting. This is why I can't do chat videos. Juvia's Place foundation, the shade, this is what I used last time, Malawi. I feel like this is still my shade. Yeah, so this is still my shade. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I must have put, I think that the Shade Borough posted like reposted her stories about how she was basically sharing, like, you know, her views on dating broke men, and a lot of people were like responding to her in DMs about their experiences, and she posted their experiences, and I was like, I have stories. If I share, so I think somebody must have said, oh, share your story or share your experience. Like, I have a lot of experience. I mean, do you know what's even more annoying? It's the fact that it is with the same person. Like, I said to myself, never in my life ever again will I ever let myself subject myself to dating someone. And I'm not the kind of girl who's like, yeah, he's got to be rich, he's got to be this for me to date him. Well, you gotta have, you know, something going on. Like, don't ask me for money. Like, you shouldn't be coming to me for money. Like, there's some guys who just, their pride would not allow them to do that. And if you're, I mean, it's different when you're married, like, it's a different dynamic, you know. But if you're a boyfriend, girlfriend, the last thing you should be doing is to be begging for money from your girl. And sometimes it's even before, like, we're even in a relationship. Like, I was reading some of the stories and I was like, oh my gosh, some people, the audacity of these men. Can you even call them men? Because how can you with your whole chest come and be asking for literally for change? Like, you felt it was okay to ask somebody, or like you go on or you go on dates and like you're trying to scrounge for the money. Like, if you don't have the money in the first place, don't invite somebody out on a date. Just don't. And that goes to women too. Like, I'm not just putting all on men. Like, if you can't afford a certain lifestyle, like, don't put it out there trying to impress people, but then you can't follow through. It's just not right. Can't deal. But yeah, so it's like I said, I did date somebody in that kind of, I have been through that situation. I mean, I've never had a situation where I was on a date and that happened. The one I want to point out, because it pained me because of where I was when I got the call about asking for money. I was in Fendi. I was in a designer shop buying my own bag. When I was in the Fendi store trying to get myself a new bag because, you know, I'm out here doing my thing, making my own money. I'm looking around at other couples just there, like the girls like trying on bags. The boyfriend's like, do you like that one? He's basically uninterested, but it's like, just tell me how much it is and I'll sort it out. And I'm here buying myself my own bag, and then you have the audacity to come and call me to ask for money. Like, are you mad? Are you mad? I was like, just do my thing and get a call like, oh, I'm in so-and-so country, I don't even know what you were doing there, and I'm stranded, I can't get a flight back home, can you send me some money? And I'm like, how did you get there in the first place? How were you able to fly there knowing you didn't have enough money to come back? You know my boys, I was supposed to get this money but something fell through, blah blah blah. And I'm like, so what, your boys can't sort you out? Do you know what's even worse? When they can sense you trying to like hesitate and then they get angry. And I'm like, excuse me, you're the one coming to me to ask for money. Why are you getting angry? And I was like, I'm in a whole shop. I'm in a whole Fendi. Your mates are buying their girlfriends and their wives stuff. You are doing this to me. Like, I was so mad, so mad. So let me just compose myself. Let me just sit down because I don't want to start showing myself up in this place. Let me not come and disgrace myself because of this nonsense I'm dealing with over the phone. So I was just like, but why can't you? Isn't there any other way you can do it? And I swear he hung up on me. Me being me, like, you know, like, oh, call back, oh, you know, I'll sort it out. And I think, is this the life that God planned for me? This is not the life God planned for me. Like, I'm out here trying to drop 2.5 bags, 2,500 or whatever it was for that bag. And you're naked, like, oh, it bugged me. And this is literally one of many stories, but that one stood out to me because I remember just how I felt, and then seeing everybody else in the store just like happy and, you know, couples smiling together, and then there's me with my disgrace. Let's stop doing this. Let's stop settling for these kind of men because they're not, first of all, they're not men. No guy who has an ego, who has respect for himself, will ever subject himself to asking for anything from you. Especially at that boyfriend girlfriend stage. It depends on what it is, but still, no, there should be like, that should be your last resort. And obviously as women, we're just like, we want to help. We have that maternal instinct, you know, want to take care of our men, be there for them in the hopes they will do the same back. And a lot of the time, sometimes they do. I feel like I really suffered. But yeah, you know, like I said, I'm the kind of person who was like, you know, let me be the good girlfriend. Let me help you out, you know, if you're struggling, blah blah blah, and you know, and it's like, only do that for a guy who is worthy of you doing that for him. Honestly, I really suffered. But yeah, you know, like I said, I'm the kind of person who was like, you know, let me be the good girlfriend. Let me help you out, you know, if you're struggling, blah blah blah, and you know, and it's like, did they ever repay me? Stuff like that, you just be like, you just leave it to karma, leave it to God. God will sort it out. Davido, Wizkid, or Burna? Ooh, I don't know, you know. Burna annoys me. Burna has good songs, but he annoys me as a person. Davido, I feel like I like a lot more songs from Davido than all of them combined. If I had to go back into my list of songs I've listened to, I'd probably say Davido. Just because there's so many hits, you know. So does Wizkid, but if I had to pick, I might be wrong, you might disagree with me, but I do like Davido. He's also a very annoying person too. But Wizkid, but then Wizkid has good songs too. It would be between Davido and Wizkid. I don't know, because I've seen them all in concert, and I don't know. I don't know. They all have really good songs. In terms of the amount of hits I could listen to, I would say Davido. Funny story of things that have happened to you, so we can get to know you more. Funny story. Funny story. I dated somebody who I decided to treat him for his birthday, and he did the whole thing, took him to a hotel, all that kind of stuff. Why did his ex-girlfriend turn up, please? I have too many stories, but it's more embarrassing for me than anything else. So I wouldn't call it funny, I'd call it embarrassing, but like, that's the kind of nonsense I was dealing with. I find that my shadows stand out more without, because you know how a lot of people put concealer on their lids first? I find that my shadows stand out more when I don't have concealer all over my lids. I put it at the top though, like my brow bone, but not on my actual lid. Does anybody else do that, or is it just me? I was like, how am I gonna do a whole thing, plan a whole birthday, whatever, and then your ex supposedly didn't know where we were and just turns up. You didn't tell her and you're not in contact with her. The ex told, you know, reception that, oh, they have a package for me. By the way, we've never met this person. Okay, so going into the palette, going in with Too Much, which is this pink matte shade. The reception was like, have a package for me from my ex's sister, and the person gave the name, and I said, I know what my ex's sister's called, and that wasn't her name. So I'm like, who is this person trying to call me at reception? So I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I try to go down to reception. Oh, first of all, he decides to leave the room, goes down to reception, disappears. I'm like, where has he been? So I go down, I don't see him at reception, I don't see the girl, supposed girl and her friend, and I'm told like, yeah, this girl she's outside in her car. We wouldn't advise you to go outside because you just don't know what she wants. Like, if you're claiming you don't know this person, we recommend you stay in the hotel. I'm trying to call the guy, he's not picking up. I'm like, where have you been? Going in with Dream, this really matte royal blue. I'm gonna put that onto the lid. He eventually comes back into the room, and I was like, where have you been? It's like, oh, I was on the phone to her, to his ex. And I was like, so you know who it was? You knew who it was? It's like, yeah, I figured out who it was my ex. It's like, what's she doing here? How did she know who we are? He's like, I have no idea, I don't know. It just seems so dodgy, it just seems so like sus, like how the hell would she know? I didn't put my location on my stories, I didn't put where I was. How would she have known? He's like, I don't know. Trying to get to the bottom of it, and I'm just like, wow, like what a ruined night, you know. Like, forgot to put a base for this shadow because obviously my lids crease, so I'm trying to like not let that happen. So I'm just using like a base. Fast forward to like a few days later, I'm told he tells them that, oh, it turns out that she still has access to his iCloud. That, you know, she got to sign into his iCloud a long time ago, and she always had access, and she must have like stalked where he was and decided to turn up. And I'm just thinking like, okay, so what was the plan? You know, what did she plan to do if I had come down? It just made no sense. There's a lot of things made no sense in that relationship. And once you start feeling like that, you just know you gotta go. You got to go. Would you rather give up all your wigs or all your jackets? I would say all my jackets because I could just buy new ones. Wigs are a little bit more difficult because you have to have them made and get someone to make them for you. That takes time. So I'd say jackets. I always assumed you were a virgin. I don't know why. I don't know why either, love. Would you rather marry a stranger or an ex-boyfriend that really hurt you bad? Is that a trick question? I would much rather marry a stranger. You can get to know them, and I don't know, somehow it doesn't work out and then you get a divorce. I'm packing on this blue. I'm gonna try and smoke out the crease with a different shade and see how that turns out. I have so many stories I'd love to share, but I feel like I still want to give it some time. Let me move house. I don't want anybody knocking on my door, like, do you know what I mean? How do you feel about the vaccine? Right, I feel like I'm the only person, or one of the very few people who isn't as stressed or bothered about it in the way that people are going about. Like, it's not in a conspiracy theory. There's no tracking device. Like, it's not all that. The only thing I'm just not a big fan of is the fact that if there's a possibility that they might make it mandatory when it comes to traveling. That's just ridiculous. Yes, I can see why people think, oh, you know, end times, the mark of the beast. If you know your Bible, what the hell is that? But honestly, I really don't think people are out here trying to put tracking devices in a flipping vaccine. I actually know somebody who works for one of the companies that are making the vaccine, and we obviously I speak to him a lot just to get his views and everything. Obviously, like I said, he's working for that company and he has been working non-stop trying to get this vaccine out. It's a very, very big, well-known company. And obviously he's like, because obviously like when it comes to vaccines, it takes years to develop and stuff like that. And I think it's more because they don't have the funds readily available, and all the support that the government has been giving for, you know, for COVID. So he was like, they were given like $3 billion to get things rolling. So usually when people like, which I mean, I still believe that it is true. Usually when it comes to vaccines, you have to test it, you have to do all these trials and everything. And I was just like, so how has it gone down? Like what has been the process of this whole thing? It's like, yeah, there's been trials, but I feel like there isn't enough data to know exactly how this is gonna work for the different groups, whether it's like, you know, how's it gonna work for a black person, a white person, Asian person, or different age groups. What about if they have, you know, prior symptoms or things that could trigger it? So like, it's like that they've done tests and stuff. Like, he's confident in the formula of the actual vaccine, but not so much the fact that there isn't enough data to go on, you know. Like, they have done tests, but the tests are not enough. They haven't done enough tests. So he's like, he knows at some point he will have to take it, but he would like same with me. He would like to wait a while, maybe like 6 to 12 months, to see how it works with everybody before he now decides to take it. But he's like, people should probably stop saying, you know, it's a conspiracy thing and the government's trying to control us. Like, we have phones that track our whereabouts. I feel like if the government wanted to control us, I don't think they're going to do it that way. If worst comes to the worst and I have to take it to travel, like, what can I do? What can I do? And it takes one person to take it and everyone's gonna be like, okay, cool, it's fine then. I think that everyone's just jumping on the same bandwagon, like, I'm not gonna do it because this and this. But once it gets to a point where it begins to affect travel, trust me, people are gonna start singing a different tune. I'm not as like overly concerned about it. I'm just more concerned about the fact that there hasn't been enough testing. And yes, like I said, it has been produced. And the reason why it feels like it's been produced quicker is because there's been a lot of funding being pushed into it. And obviously because of how much of a demand we need to, it's a whole pandemic. Like, let's see how it goes and now take it. The fact that people can't even stay at home for a month without traveling during lockdown, second lockdown. You want to tell me that once they impose the whole vaccine situation, once they say, oh, vaccines are mandatory for travel, you're telling me these people are not going to try and take it? Like, it's easier said than done. The only time I'm going to start freaking out is when it becomes a mandatory thing for like everyday life. You can't buy food, you can't do this. Then I'll start freaking out. Just be praying. All we can do is pray, man, because what else can we do so it doesn't get to that? Gonna go in with Fury, which is a much lighter blue, and just tap it in the center. I don't know if you can even see it. I can. Give it a little dimension. Let's try and look for a inner corner shade. I'm gonna try this one right here, which is Hater, in my inner tear duct. Ooh, that's cute. Darker green shimmer shade called Money. Okay. So using Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 12. I feel like a little bit goes a long way. It is quite liquidy. Would you ever consider creating drama for views? I'm not gonna lie. Me and one of my other friends, we were just like, just obviously just bantering and joking around, like what if we just started this sort of like drama saying we'd like stop being friends or something. Like, I feel like I'm so unproblematic. Like, why don't we start something just to get, you know, get people talking? Just obviously we're joking, like it's not even a thing. Like, I would never, because I feel like that's what people want to see. People only enjoy when it's drama, or people only want to know when there's something negative going on. It would never be that deep. I like the unproblematic life. I like the fact that people don't talk about me that I know of. Like, it's not like a public thing where like I'm on the shade bar every week, you know. Like, trust me, the peaceful life, if it means that I'm irrelevant, then fine. Like, I'm able to sleep at night knowing people don't know my business. I don't have a man embarrassing me online. Do you get what I mean? I would so much rather be a nobody than to be someone who is being made to look dumb on social media. Share more about your personal life, love, romance, friendships, family.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. You in my business? Yeah, don't do that.
People really love to be nosy. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, when it's not my own drama, like, I'm fine. I'm gonna just get my popcorn and like, oh, don't act like some of you are not out here thriving on other people's tea, you know. As sad as it sounds, that's just a human nature. Like, we want to know what's going on. We want to know why you haven't posted your man in the whole week. We want to know who's that person in the background, whose feet are those. But you know, I feel like when it comes to my relationship, you know, like my love life, like, I just, they say like until you know it's for, even sometimes it doesn't even work this way. Say until you know it's like forever, like keep it private. Like, keep it private. And I just want to protect what's mine. When it comes to family, like when I'm with a family, obviously I show them. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, you know, you see that on my stories. But when it comes to my love life, trust me when I say that with what I've been through in the past, like, I'm happy that things were kept low key, because yo, ain't nobody want to have that online. I've just put foundation in my hair. Ain't nobody want to have their business being scattered online, you know? Scattered, dissected. You have this person saying their views and no one really knows the truth because they're just all speculating while you're going through it and feeling so down and trying to put up a brave face. No, that is not my portion, sis. I'm sorry. When I want you to know, you'll know. When I want you to see stuff, you'll see stuff. Juvia's Place setting powder in Kalahari. Leaving that to set a little bit, I'm going to take the Juvia's Place Shade Sticks in the shade, what shade is this? Ooh, that is dark. I might have to go with Katsina, but let's try Tunisia. And I'm using this Jaclyn Hill JH08. You can't really see it as much. Went over that with Katsina. Powering through my cramps right now. Usually I am not able to do anything the entire day. Whew, does anybody else have the worst cramps? I'm trying my hardest today because I had to get this video out. So yeah. Another funny story was the last time I was in Niger. The day I was flying back, I was at the airport really early. I had a very early flight. I think it was like 6 or 7 a.m. And when I got to the airport, literally everything was closed. This is so embarrassing, but you know, why not? I'll share it. Everything was closed, so I needed the toilet. So I need to do a number 2 so bad. Like, I need to do a poo. I went to every single toilet. There was no tissue. Obviously, the new set of like staff hadn't come in yet, or hadn't started like cleaning for the start of the day. So I was literally going around every single toilet. There was no tissue. Went into the men's toilet, no tissue. And you know what happens when you need a poo? Like, it starts to come out. And I was holding it, dragging my hand luggage. I was like, what? I'm going to embarrass myself today. I'm going to poo in my pants. Like, I just couldn't find anything. Couldn't even find paper. Like, I was like, I'm ready to do anything right now. Like, something told me to check my hand luggage, and I found like a couple of, I found like my makeup wipes. I still had some makeup wipes left. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Jesus. But just know that when it comes to makeup wipes and tissue, like, I'd much rather have tissue and wipes, and it was a very, 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 very long overdue poo. I was very ill. Like, I was really ill towards the end of my trip, so it was kind of messy, but I had to do what I had to do. You know, you can't really do a number 2 on the plane. Like, has anyone actually done a number 2 on the plane? I'd really like to know. Go back and get the purple underneath my eye. Thank God I found some wipes, because what would I have done? I was holding it, and the people, even the staff that were there, I was like, please auntie, can you help? They didn't care. You know how Nigerians can be. They don't give a crap. They don't care. Like, the fact that you're the one flying out, they're already mad at you for flying out. So like, she didn't even want to help me. She's like, no, sorry, I don't have anything. I was like, I really, anything you know, I don't have paper. I don't have anything you can give me. So I don't have. Sorry, I don't have. I'm like, wow. I didn't have clothes I could actually let go of. Like, I couldn't use my clothes. I can say, okay, I'll just throw it away. Like, imagine using my jacket. Ugh. So basically, I'd already gone through security this time. I was like, can you let me back so I can see if I can find tissue? I really need the toilet so bad. Like, it was coming. It was literally about to shoot out. Got there, no tissue. There was literally no tissue. No shops were open, because like I said, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. Things hadn't opened yet. Nobody was ready to open anything for me. Like, everybody was just mad at me. Person at the desk just giving me evils, like giving me mad evils. Like, one of them was like, basically said to me like, you're already beginning to look like an Oyibo, and was like, ew. And I was like, what do you mean, ew? Like, what? Why would you do that? I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but they just seem so angry at you that you have like a passport that isn't green, like you have a red passport if you know, UK or America, if it's blue, whatever. They're so mad at you. Like, he was genuinely mad at me that I was able to, like, I had a British nationality. I am gonna go in the center of my lids. I'm gonna add this navy blue shimmery shade called Bold, just because I feel like I want to give it some dimension. And then went over it again with that Fury, the light blue that we used at the beginning to give dimension. I didn't want it to be too shimmery. I just wanted to kind of stand out, so I went over with the matte blue. My lashes I'm using So Extra Mini. It has become my favorite. Gonna go in with the Juvia's Place Sahara Blush Volume 1 palette. I'm gonna take this shade right here, really subtle, and use that as my blush, and then just gonna apply that to my cheeks. This is the shade Neo. And take Zara, apply it to my cheekbones. Lip liner, I'm going in with Juvia's Place Cola. Juvia's Place lipstick in Toffee. I'm gonna add a little bit of the Wahala 2 lip gloss in Shakara, yeah. This is pretty much the finished look. I hope you like it. Yeah, I felt like, let me just speed it up because I wanted to use some of the chit chatty questions in my next video. I was using their Wahala 2 palette. Honestly, the quality of the shadows are spot on. It's still the same, still good quality from their previous palettes. I really like this palette. It's very bright, and you know, they stay with like their quality shadows are always spot on. So I'm happy with that. I will list everything in the description box. It was pretty much a full face Juvia's Place. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.